It looks like Susan has her hand raised. So Susan DeTroy,
Hi,
have at it.
thank you. I recently have been thinking quite a bit about, I'm partly influenced about thinking about NFTs. And in the last, I think maybe 6 months or so, I started looking through my files and thinking about what kind of collection I might want to have, partly about NFTs, but and then thinking about the topic of materiality, I began thinking how photography really is, I mean, all my work has base in photography now, and how photography for me really is taking something material. In this case, I'm going to talk about florals, but in my other work, taking my own face and then creating something that is about the material world, but extends and expands the idea and the feelings of those items that are captured in real time. And so I started looking through my files, as I mentioned, and I didn't realize how much kind of, in a way, casual work I'd created over the years from my garden and mostly from my garden. It was important work, but I hadn't thought of it as having a place to itself. I mostly was using it as an element to combine with my Portrait of a Woman series that I combined my face with. But then I had a shift of ideas, and once I started organizing and looking through older photographic pieces, I thought, I have a lot of floral work. So, and then the season of roses came, and we have a very beautiful garden, rose garden here. And I began to realize I have a lot of work about roses. So over the last few months, I started pulling together files and images, and I'm still doing that, organizing. And I came up with a series that initially is going to be about roses, and it'll probably change because that's how things are in the art world. But this series is has a Spanish name because I used to speak Spanish and I used to live in Spain. It's called Las Flores Divinas, the divine flowers, and flowers that are divine. And as I go deeper into thinking about the series, I started doing a little bit more research about the botany of flowers, because I was a botany major, or part of my composite degrees were in botany and botanical, and I worked in herbarium. So I have all this influence from my past of these different things that I did. And I have, what's happened with looking through and organizing and starting to concentrate on these pieces is that a kind of combination of my different selves is coming together. And I'm deepening my ideas about the love of earth and representing that in an artistic way. So I'm going to show, I have seven that I've completed that I'm planning to show as in NFTs. And I'm going to go through those, and all of them are about roses. And my work is in, I do my work with an iPhone and an iPad, and everything I create is made with handheld devices. And that's something I chose to do a few years ago. And so all of these pieces are created in that way. And these have names, but I don't have those attached to the files that I'm looking at in my photo album. So I have them in another document that I could look up, but I'm just going to show them. I am particularly enamored with the standalone camera app called Hipstamatic, which some of you may know about. I'm slightly obsessed with Hipstamatic, and I find it to render the real world in like an alternative view. It gives me an alternative, more deeply emotional view of what I'm photographing. So, and yeah, I think I am just constantly drawn to the luscious depth of flowering plants. I just think they're beautiful. And I think there's a lot that is communicated by taking their form and changing it. So, okay.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm not showing up, but
Did you add more that you wanted to say, Susan?
I don't know that I have. Let me just see. I made a little.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you off, so.
No, I think that's it. I haven't actually talked about this work. This is the first time that I've shared in an artistic way. I've mentioned it to my close friends, of course, that I'm doing it, but I haven't. I've been more working on it and thinking about it and researching and the idea about plants and how it's connected and all the things I said. But I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so very much. Anyone else have anything